Unbelievable. You see, she went to me and she said, "Ma'am, this is a Wendy's." And I said right to her face, I said, "Ma'am, I am Wendy." What do you think about that?
Nancy, we're live.
Oh, Nancy No Good. Yes, the Nancy No Good. And we are gathered here today digitally, which I truly am. I am so grateful that you have made digital space with me this evening. Truly, truly. Ugh. I want you to think, when you're sitting there, pouring yourself a cocktail, staring at the void that is my glamorous face, to think, maybe this woman deserves a tip. Because I do. But more on that later. Anyway, let me just put this right here. Oh, marvelous. So, as I was saying, I am Nancy No Good. Oh, and before I begin, I would love to tell you a little bit about data. Data. I'm obsessed with data. I'm turned on with data. One second. Give me, hold this, please. I need to look for something. I don't think I know. Nope. Never mind about the whole data spiel. Let me just remind you that you're joining me for a sexy science experiment, an erotic exploration. And, ooh, I know you're shifting in your seats over there, but don't worry, you'll remain anonymous, only talking to me through your phones. So, why don't you keep that in mind and make those responses extra juicy tonight? So, one second, I just need to look. Never mind about the whole data spiel. We seem to have encountered an unexpected hiccup. But that's live theater. We'll just have to make it work, y'all. We'll have the full, unadulterated Nancy No Good experience. And besides, that is a core principle of mine. Transparency. Thank you.
It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like to sup with my baby tonight and fill the cup with my baby tonight. I'd like to sup with my baby tonight, fill the cup with my baby tonight, but I'm not up to my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like to cool with my baby tonight and pitch some wool with my baby tonight. I'd like to cool with my baby tonight, pitch some wool with my baby tonight, but I won't fight with my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot. According to the Kinsey report, every average man likes his lovey-dovey to court when the temperature is low. But when the thermometer goes right up and the weather is sizzling hot, Mr. Man with a plan is not. 'Cause it's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. too darn hot. I'd like to meet with my baby tonight. Get off my feet with my baby tonight. I'd like to meet with my baby tonight. Get off my feet with my baby tonight. But don't repeat with my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot. According to the Kinsey report, every average man you know much prefers to play his favorite sport when the temperature is low. But when the thermometer goes way up and the weather is sizzling hot, Mr. Adam for his madam is not. 'Cause it's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot.
I'd like to talk to you a little bit about numbers. In the Old Testament, there is the Book of Numbers. This little thing I just did for you, a musical theater number. Honey, this look I'm serving, oh, a quintessential Nancy No Good number. Ooh, drink it in, drink it in. I know. And in the interest of numbers as well as transparency, I would like to share with you tonight's sequence of events. 1. Making contact. 2. Putting the subject at ease. 3. Systematic coverage. 4. Direct questions. 5. Proving the answer. And 6. Limits of the interview. There you have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what you know what you're in for. Let's start with phase 1, making contact. This is the time, everyone. Time for you to pull out your phones. That's right, pull out those godless devices and access this URL or this QR code we have here. Yes. And if you feel so inclined, why don't you pull up another tab and go to paypal.me/xfest and give me just the tip, please. I always appreciate just a little bit of a tip, you know. And don't worry, I will tell you this at least 3 more times in the show. Does everyone have it? Good? We've got it? We're in? I know we've got some slow internet, but that's okay. I don't care. Moving on. As you can see with our simple little scale, it is the Kinsey scale. Flawed for sure, for its imperfections of course, but this is only our preliminary practice experiment. Let's begin. We start with 0, exclusively heterosexual. 1, heterosexual with incidental homosexual behavior. I love the word incidental there. It's like, oops, I slipped and tongue-kissed a woman. 2, hetero with more than incidental homo behavior. 3, an equal amount of homo and hetero behavior. Some might refer to that as bisexual. 4, homo with more than incidental hetero behavior. 5, homo with incidental hetero behavior. And 6, exclusively homosexual. 0 through 6, those are the numbers. And everyone, while I keep talking, I'd like for you to please input which number you think best represents you on our simple little scale. And if you're thinking to yourself, fuck this shit, I'm not represented here, simply input, fuck this shit, I'm not represented here, and we will make you some space. Now, where's my scholarly music? Dr. Professor Alfie Kinsey was a complicated little man, as one must be, to found an Institute for Sex Research in 1947 in Bloomington, Indiana, of all places. His research was foundational to the field of sexology and radical for its era, at least in pearl-clutching America. Remember, this is the 1940s where everything sex was illegal. And girl, that is hardly hyperbole.
Sodomy?
Illegal.
Homosexual behavior.
Everything, yes.
Premarital sex?
Absolutely.
Adultery.
Uh-huh.
Eating ass?
Probably. But I need to look that one up. No one back then talked about sex, let alone studied it. Instead, we swallowed it all down. No jokes, please. This is the serious bit. Yes, we suppressed shit. And we repressed shit. And when you do that to shit, that shit tends to fester. But the doctor was in pursuit of liberation. Liberation and alleviation. Alleviation of guilt, and liberation from the then perhaps pervasive belief that masturbation, a most glorious mortal sin, causes blindness. And that little jewel of a lie was brought to you by Christianity. And that's Christianity. It was myths like these that prompted Kinsey to pursue his research. And because he believed that truth was better than ignorance, and questioning better than blind belief. And he was sure, and so am I, that if we are to know the naked truth about sex, if we are to know what goes on in our own perverted little minds, then we can have a better understanding of each other. And if we can have a better understanding of each other, we can make better decisions. And if we can make better decisions, then we could, just maybe, live in a better world. Oh. And wouldn't that be something? And that's why Kinsey did his studies, and that's why we are here today. No guilt, no shame, just data. Ooh, my nipples perk just thinking about it. Well, I had a lot of work done too. All right, let's go see what the results are, everyone. Pull it on up. Ooh. Oh, look at that. All right, so I see we have 0 of you identify as Kinsey 0. 3 of you identify as Kinsey 1. 2 of you identify as Kinsey 2. 2 of you identify as Kinsey 3. 1 of you identifies as Kinsey 4. 2 of you identify as Kinsey 5. Love that. 2 of you identify as Kinsey 6. And 1 of you said, fuck this shit, I'm not represented here. Beautiful. To review, everyone. 0, 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 2, and 2. Oh, marvelous. Give yourselves a round of applause, audience. That was just fantastic. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to just quickly find something. Where the hell did I put it?
Dear Dr. Kinsey.
Dear Madam.
I hope you will read this letter I'm writing to you, because I have a great problem.
Your question is a fair one.
Is it possible for a person to be male and female at the same time?
If love is extolled by poets and teachers, then what can be wrong with it in any form that remains fine and real?
I am a girl, 20 years old, and I am in love with another girl very, very much. And I know that she loves me, and I know that that isn't right.
The only answer I can give is that homosexuality happens to be out of fashion in the society through which you have to move.
I am at my wit's end.
I would give more than you know to see things turn out right for you.
Please answer me, sir. Please help me.
Dr. Alfred Kinsey.
Oh, I was just sitting here. I wanted to figure something out, and I have a confession. If I seem a little preoccupied, it's because, well, I made these note cards to guide me through the show. You know, I thought I could just jot it all down in the notes app like I was a modern woman, but I thought, oh bitch, wouldn't it be cute if I was like old-fashioned about it? You know, little index cards. The joke's on me. They're nowhere to be found. You know, maybe I should just get over it. You know, I mean, the show's going all right so far, you know? You know, you probably wouldn't have even noticed if I didn't tell you. But I do love, to a fault, transparency. And I worked so hard on those note cards too, okay? I used my best handwriting in different colored gel pens, just inscribing every single one of these like color-coded index cards. I'm a double Virgo, okay? Just got the canvas, get out of here. No, wait, get this side. How's it? Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. All of the facts and statistics I put on the pink cards with all of the corresponding anecdotes I put on the blue cards just to be rigorous about the scientific method for this science experiment of a show. Well, the non-binary gods must have seen my pink and blue cards and they said, not so fucking fast, little Miss Gender Reveal. Well, the non-binary gods won because my cards are fucking gone. So you'll just have to forgive me, please, if I can't. Oh, wait! I think I remember something. It was a pink card. The etymological origin of data. Data. Got this down? Oh, thank you. Data. From the Latin. Something given. Neuter past participle of dare, meaning to give. So, what gives? Well, the world gave me a gift. I was doing a show here in Brooklyn, trying to find my way inside this dingy, dusty little theater of a space, just to go backstage to have some solace and peace and quiet to work on my number, you know? You should have seen it. I was in backstage, swimming through a sea of talentless twinks, just trying to find some peace and quiet and a place to be alone, when all of a sudden I slipped on a pink flamingo and I almost fell into a hole in the backstage floor. I could have been dramatic about it and, you know, shed a tear, but I would have risked losing an eyelash and I can't spare the moisture. And so instead, I looked down and found Sexual Behavior of the Human Male by our little Kinsey Poo. Published in 1948, collected from data from thousands of males over a 15-year period. Wow. I did my gig and I went right home. I swear I could not sleep. I read the whole thing from start to end. My jaw on the ground the entire time. Tables upon tables about everything sex. You know, I would have had some facts on pink note cards, but why don't we just like look and peruse and see what we can find, you know? Oh, yes. Age of first ejaculation. Sure. Oh, erotic response to biting. Oh, that made me want to do a little, you know. Frequency of bestial fantasies when masturbating. Oh. Well, I thought to myself, look at my cool new sex book. Then I thought, I'm nowhere to be found. Okay, easy answer. I went out the next day and I bought the more relevant companion piece, Sexual Behavior of the Human Female. But still, I am nowhere fucking in there. Kinsey considered so much, but not me. I'm a big ol' outlier.
And sure, I'm a drag queen in Brooklyn, but like 3/4 of my friends are all big ol' outliers too. And if we're all the outliers, then wherein lie the inliers? Say it with me, everyone. Fuck this shit, I am not represented here! It's not so much our Kinsey's fault. I mean, he did the best he could in 1940s Indiana. Indiana, of all places. I mean, can you even imagine?
Hello, my name is Sancy Sobad, and I've come to save the American family.
Do you masturbate?
Do you sexualize Christian children?
Do you question the system God has blessed us with?
Do you value your religious freedoms?
Do you masturbate?
Do you
question the system God has blessed us with?
I said, do you masturbate?
How often have you doubted American morality?
I said, then you know MSNBC is the devil's network?
Do you think Rachel Maddow is the dyke daughter of the devil?
Did any of the children Kinsey forced to participate in his satanic ritual survive?
Do you believe the truth to be more evil than fiction?
I said, do you masturbate?
Yes. No? Was Alfred Kinsey a Jew?
No. Yes. Did a Christ-loving, God-fearing patriot send you this YouTube link?
When I was 5 years old, I found my dad's Playboy magazines hidden in the basement. I was too young to know, but I knew these pictures were wrong. I put them back exactly as I found them, but who knows if I did a good job. I carried those images of sin in my brain wherever I went. They poisoned me. I became very ill. Doctors didn't know why. Hospital bills drove both my parents to the bottle. I turned 6 in the hospital. My dad stopped showing me affection, and I knew he could see the ungodly images burned in my brain. Now I'm 43. The YouTube algorithm has blessed me. With this movie and comment section, I could see how pedophile Kinsey ruined our great Christian nation. I'm LGBT now and hate myself for it. My father called me faggot for the first time on the day he left forever. Now, getting called fag arouses me, and I pay hairy men on the internet to send demeaning videos, which are all I can get off to. I live alone. I go to church. I make videos singing psalms and praying for our nation. Please watch and subscribe. Please, please.
But don't you agree that abstinence
Don't
only...
you know that the coastal elite...
Haven't you seen what
Joseph
that...
Schimmel, the producer, isn't he the same Joseph Schimmel who produced this film, Katy Perry, the Super Bowl, and Satan?
Where are the villagers to protect those children?
Where's the church? Where is the church?
Is Brooklyn Lucifer's dominion?
The devil is behind the low amount of views.
The devil is behind the ratio of dislikes.
The devil controls the will of the Jews.
And the will of the Jews controls the algorithms.
Is everything LGBT, including their gay, Cardi B, devil pussy, un-American agenda based on the research of the sick and wicked pedophile Alfred Kinsey?
And the elites.
Who poison our children?
They must be overthrown, right?
They must be overthrown.
But would you kill to save our Christian children?
What?
It's just a simple question. You can trust me.
I'm sorry, I zoned out for a second. Could you repeat it?
I said, do you masturbate?
Oh, yeah.
And when was the first time?
I think I was 11, and honestly, I was pretty sure I invented it.
Tables 31 through 34 are about orgasms in prepubescent boys. It's not clearly notated in the book, but Kinsey drew this data from interviews with 63-year-old Rex King. Rex King had a family tree of 36. He'd slept with 17 of them. His grandmother introduced him to vaginal intercourse. His father introduced him to anal. He'd molested several hundred children, mostly undocumented immigrants who lived nearby. Rex King kept detailed diaries of his criminal encounters, which he handed over to Kinsey, who then used them as data in his studies. Kinsey did not report Rex King to the authorities. Kinsey did not report.
Oh my God, let's stop right there. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. We skipped something glitched apparently, and we're in phase 6. A part of the show that was well, darker, and I meant to keep you safe from it. Would have happened if I had no cards. But I guess it is good to talk about the extremes. Some say Kinsey went searching for the taboo because that's what he wanted to find. And who could blame him? Well, lovers of scientific rigor blame him. Maybe if Kinsey had some color-coded index cards. Well, look where that shit got me. Before we move on, I have something I'd like to say. This isn't in the note cards. And this one isn't on your phones. But in a show like this question is important. When talking about sex and discussing extremes, it's important. You don't answer this one aloud. You can even close your eyes if you'd like, because it's just for you. Do you have a memory you wish ended differently? In which your boundaries weren't seen, or they were, and then crossed? And conversely, consider the instances in which your boundaries were respected, in which you did feel seen. Hopefully more of those memories than the other. I spent a lot of time thinking about consent. Do you remember a few years ago when people were like, consent is sexy, consent is sexy, and they were like releasing t-shirts that were like, consent is sexy. Consent can be uncomfy. What the hell is gained by sexualizing consent? Like, oh, hey, can I like touch your body? Ruining a silent, intimate moment for which the answer might have been obvious? But had I been asked that question, a couple of nights for me might have ended differently. And I know I'm not alone. Consent ain't sexy. It's essential. And like, I'm sorry if I'm trying to assert my opinion as fact or whatever, but no. It is fact. Consent is essential, and if it's not, well, it should be. Anyway, I appreciate your openness and tolerance for a blunt pivot. Now pick up your fucking phones, y'all. Yes, we are going back to that link. Excellent. Marvelous. Go back to this URL. Go back to the QR code. And please, this is my favorite part of the show, so you better give me something good with this one. It's a question to which we all need to know each other's answers. What do you think of during masturbation? Please, fill in all that apply. Oh. That's right, what do you think of during masturbation? Girl, we are going there. And like I said before, we are all about honesty. I promise. No guilt, no shame, just data. So, throw it on up there. Oh. I like I like this one right here. It's like a little, it's like a question, like fruit? Like, men? I kind of love that. I love that. I mean, I ask myself if I like men all the time, so, you know, it's fine. Brie sex. Is that like sex with brie cheese? I mean, listen, honey, I am not going to yuck your yum. I'm just thinking economically, that is a very expensive Friday night. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you do you. You do you. Maybe you have a connect somewhere that I don't. That's fine. Pepper, just like, I'm thinking like table salt, just like shaking it on in there. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I don't know. Whatever orifice, I guess you really prefer to have pepper shaken into. That's fine. That's totally fine. Clit. I appreciate. I love. We love such rimming pop divas. Oh. You know, like I said, not here to yuck your yum. I mean, I can think of plenty pop divas that I would love to have a good time with, but, you know, to each their own. Let's start a book club and just talk about it, you know what I mean? That's what they do in book clubs, they talk about rimming pop divas. Okay, oh, clit again, clit. 2, you know what? Hey, 3, oh, this is great. This is so, did I miss any? Oh no, just, oh, oral! In big letters, I love that. That person was like, I like oral! They wanted the world to know. All of you. And you know what? That's wonderful. I love this. I appreciate this. People with intentions and Bob. People with intentions. I guess I just don't like wandering sex havers. You know, just like someone who's kind of like, I think I'll just do it, you know, rimming fruit. You know what I mean? Like they're just kind of, you know, I think people with intentions and fruit might not get along, but, you know, I could be wrong. It's a couple more. Bob. You got a lucky one, Bob. Wherever you are, good for you. Make sure you bring the brie, you know? Oh, squirting. Okay. All right. I'm a fan. I think we can talk about that later. If you ever want to squirt me a tip, though, make sure you go to paypal.me/xfest. That's right. Squirt me on a tip. You know, just, I'm trying. You know, anyway. Let me see here. Just give me a couple more. Oh, I'm having so much fun. Dark rooms. Absolutely. Never mad about a dark room. That's where, you know, you develop film and rim people. And, let me think. Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna stick with this last one. You know, save the best for last. You know, Nancy No Good. Who is that? Is that me? Oh, well, if you think of me, you might as well give me a little tip. I said it earlier. I won't say it again. Or maybe I will. Oh my God. You know, everyone, I want to give you just a little bit of homework. You know, at the end of the show, why don't you take one of these little bite-sized pieces of information and try it on for size when you get home. You know, see if maybe if you've discovered a new kink for yourself. Like anyway, I think we all would be a little bit freer if we just were more open about these things, right? Free your fetish, free your fantasy. Hit it!
No satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. And I try, and I try, and I try, and I try. I can't get no when I'm driving in my car and that comes on the radio, you tell me more and more. I just can't get no. I can't get no, baby. Satisfaction. I can't get no. I can't get no. Satisfaction. I can't get no. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, everywhere I go, they say it's okay.
Can't get no satisfaction, baby.
Oh, what a glorious, sexy mess we've made. And that was the original version of the show, too. Britney Spears wrote it, and the Rolling Stones just ripped her off. What a glorious, sexy mess. I can't believe you people are paying us for this. Here, Frida. Or at least you're gonna tip us for this. At paypal.me/xfest. Oh. I told you I'd say it again. I hope you're finding some joy in all this mess. After all, it's the least we could give you. Data. Something given. Neuter past participle of dare, to give. But data isn't much of a gift, really. A bar graph isn't really something you can hide under a Christmas tree. Believe me, I know, I tried. But maybe I could give you some comfort? Or company? Or shingles? I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, here's something I remember. If I had my note cards, I would have mentioned this earlier. So Kinsey had all of these assistants who had worked for him, and sometimes he would have these assistants join in on his experiments. You know, sometimes he would have them try their first homosexual encounters, or sometimes he would have his assistants swap spouses. Sometimes he even asked his assistants to film these encounters.
Yeah, but one of his assistants gave interviews years later saying that the Dr. Professor Kinsey sort of totally destroyed his marriage. I mean, shit got really messy. A giant sum of emotional damages for which Kinsey would never even express remorse.
And that assistant wasn't alone in feeling that way.
Well, I'm not here to psychoanalyze the professor doctor, because one, who has the time, and two, the bitch is dead.
Yeah, but for some reason, that man needed to believe, he spent his life's work trying to differentiate love and longing and youth and yearning from objective sexual data.
Well, I guess books can do that. Even when preparing for a TED Talk, a Tanya Talk. And that double Virgo might use the pink cards for the facts and the blue cards for the feelings, because that double Virgo enjoys a clean distinction. But my life is just not like that. Fuck this shit, I'm not represented here. It's a nice idea that sex can just be data and numbers, but I'll never understand everything about sex. Kinsey never understood how he hurt all of his friends' feelings. I mean, it's a nice idea to be a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, but me, this bitch, she lives in between the numbers. I mean, can't there be emotional data? I mean, like, not to be so gay about it, but like, don't our feelings mean anything? I wanted to do this show, this case study, not just for the fun of it, but because I have spent the last almost 2 years of we have spent the last almost 2 years of our lives locked in our goddamn apartments. Not going out, not doing drag, not touching strangers, not seeing our friends, and yes, y'all, I wanted to see all of your juicy sex data splashed across the screen, but I just also want to be here with you. And you to be here with me. In a room. Like a bunch of queers. And all the rest of you. At least then together maybe we could... Oh my God. My note cards.
I want strangers all over my body.
I want to touch and be touched by someone I can't see.
I want to not know your name.
Not tell your gender.
Just bodies, just touch. No questions, no words, just sounds or noises or gasps or...
But then,
I want to know you.
I want to know everything about you.
I want to talk to you for 7 years without ever meeting you in person.
I want to be on opposite sides of the world. I want to long for your body and not know what it looks like.
I want to want something I can't have. And I want you to be that something.
And then I want to have you.
Or maybe not.
Maybe it's the longing that I long for.
There's something so gay about longing.
Something somehow even gayer than anonymous bodies touching in the night.
The gratifying part about delayed gratification is the delay.
How absolutely gay. In the 3rd grade, I had this Star Wars diary because I was obsessed with Star Wars and I wanted braids like Leia's. But the diary stayed totally empty until a new student moved to town and joined Miss Christian's class. Let's call this new student Echo. We weren't friends. Echo was very quiet and I was terrified of everything and everyone, but Echo and I, we would look at each other intensely and often. Across the classroom, or in the cafeteria, or during fire drills, always during fire drills. In the crowd, there's some secret anonymity. I don't know why, but when Echo and I locked eyes, my fears just fell away. One time during a fire drill, we were staring as usual when something sort of happened. Echo opened their mouth just the slightest bit. Maybe they were rolling their tongue over their retainer absentmindedly, but when Echo opened their mouth, into my ears, past my brain, and deep into my bones, materialized these words.
We're different together.
I felt them vibrating. And these weren't words I made up of myself. It was a message. Echo meant for these words to get to me.
We're different together. We're different together.
I went home that day, right to my Star Wars diary, and wrote down the words, "We are different together," slowly, like it was scripture given to me by God. And then, I swear, I don't know why, right underneath I wrote, all caps, one word, sex. And then I immediately erased it so hard I tore through the page, so I pulled the page out and crumpled it, and then uncrumpled it, and then ripped it up and buried the shreds in the middle of the night in the kitchen garbage can under some coffee grounds. I didn't even know what sex was. Just a word I knew was naughty, though I didn't know why. And I guess I associated sex with the thing I felt when Echo and I locked eyes. Different together. This wave of warmth rolling over me, this electric, secret, unsaid thing bouncing between us like lasers and mirrors, or in Star Wars sometimes they have these shields, reflector shields. Earlier this week I finished up a late night gig and was making my way home, but the bus I usually take was fucked, so I had to take a detour. I'm looking for the L train, but my phone's basically dead now and I have no idea where I am when
when I...
It's around the corner on your left.
I'm sorry. Did you just...
It's around the corner on your left. The L train.
Oh.
You'll find it. It's easy.
Thanks.
Uncanny. This wave of warmth. I don't think they recognized me. Later, I found them on Instagram, learned their real name, Echo, and tried a million times to draft a message, but what would I say? Oh, hey, queer, I saw you tagging that wall, but I don't think you realized who you... And when the truth of it all hit me. It was always there, but not till now did I... In your eyes, I realized my own queerness, vibrating through my body, my bones. Even in 3rd grade. Echo. Echo. Did you mean to do that? Echo? But that's a very intense DM I will never feel comfortable sending. How would Echo respond to that? Who knows if they even remember? So, that little mystery will have to stay here. One more point of emotional data. Just between us. Well, us and the new Star Wars diary I will absolutely be purchasing, and this one I won't tear apart.
Be tormented by me, babe. Wonder how I do. How's the weather? Am I better now that there's no you? Drink tequila for me, babe. Let it hit you cold and hot. Let your feelings be revealing that you can't forget me. Not a flower on the wall. I am going 10 feet tall. In your head and I won't stop until you forget me, get me now. In your fantasy, dream about me, and all that we could do with this emotion. Fantasy, dream about me, and all that we could do with this emotion. This emotion, I feel it. This emotion, you feel it. All that we could do with this emotion. Paint a picture for me, boy, with the skies forever blue. Tell me there is nothing I can't have and nothing you won't do. Toss and turn without me, boy. Let it hit you cold and hot. All my kisses say you miss it and you can't forget me. Not a flower on the wall. I am growing 10 feet tall. In your head and I won't stop until you forget me, get me now. In your fantasy, dream about me, and all that we could do with this emotion. Fantasy, dream about me, and all that we could do with this emotion. This emotion, I feel it. This emotion, you feel it. All that we could do with this emotion. What if I turn the lights right down?